Hello, welcome to the Afrocentric Woman. Hope that you're doing well. Been thinking a lot about you all. I would like to welcome all the new subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I thank you for checking out my channel and subscribing. I haven't been posting in the last several months, but nonetheless, I get a few notifications throughout the week that I'm getting new subscribers. So that just lets me know that maybe people are sharing the content or people are just making their way over here and finding things useful and subscribing. So I want to thank you and welcome all the new subscribers. And also for the ones who've been rocking with me for the past, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years or something. I want to thank you all for staying connected with me, hitting me up on IG, hitting me up in the Discord, just checking in. I really appreciate you ladies. Y'all are amazing and I've missed you. I I want to just take a little walk down memory lane because I mean, I do make my predictions. Um, I've made some predictions that have come to fruition that aren't necessarily recorded as a video, but this was just too spot on. I mean, I literally said verbatim exactly what was going to happen to Kanye West. Um, I don't know. Let's see when I publish this video. Let me see. I published this video. Uh, what is the date? Where is the date? 8 months ago. But I would like to know the exact date though. Let me see. I don't know why I'm not seeing the date coming from. 8 months ago that I posted this video. And in this video, it's titled Kanye West is not a good father. I recorded this video because I was really irritated with um the I don't know, mules or whatever, black male worshipers who were going around and saying, "Oh, but Kanye's a good father. Let him see his kids and you can't keep him out the birthday party," and all this type of crap. And it's like you know, there's just such a critical mass of black women who still don't understand the mentality of these guys. And they fall for the manipulation. They fall for, it's just outright manipulation. Like these types of guys never show up for you and they never care about anything that's going on in your life and they never concern themselves with issues surrounding black women, whether it be health or finance or any of that. Even the mortality rate of the babies, they don't even care about that. But, when they have a little issue, they want to come trying to rally up black women to go and fight their battles and and that's basically what he was doing. It's like you said your kids weren't even black. You said that they weren't black, and then when things don't go your way, now all of a sudden they're black again. Like, come on. Like, anyway, it's just the delusion. And yes, he has money or had money, past tense, but the pathology and the mentality is yet the same as the collective. Delusional, egotistical, narcissistic, entitled, um, so envious and begging of men of no color to accept them, and all of that. Like just it's just the mentality of the collective, pretty much. It's just a high income dusty, pretty much. I won't say wealthy. Um, One thing that I was trying to explain in my first video, which we're gonna listen to together. Hopefully you ladies can let me know if the audio is working. But one thing that something that dawned on me, a particular phrase, as I would call it, fragile wealth. fragile wealth. It's not established wealth. It's not, when I think about established wealth, I think about a diversified portfolio. Um, with usually it has a lot to do with like goods and services that people use on a day-to-day basis that people will use whether there's a recession or not, whether there's a war or not, whether there is natural disaster or not, like financial transactions, for example, merchant fees. Those types of investments, you're going to be swiping your card, whether you're swiping it for, $1,000 or $3, you're still going to be swiping that card. So every single time you swipe that card, which is incorporated in your day-to-day life, that's income that's coming into those companies and those investors to those companies, regardless of what's going on with the economy. Things like uh, oil, things like plastic, paper, um, water treatment plants, even prisons are kind of like, recession proof investments. Um, and a lot of people who have like really super old established wealth have their money in assets that are not liquid. So lots and lots of land, or like yields food. Um, and they're very diversified. They have art or they have, Hermes bags or something that will hold its value regardless of what's going on with the economy. And they have like just lots of things like that. Now, I would say Kanye's wealth is very fragile because he is heavily invested in fashion, and most of the fashion that he is invested or was invested in was just on a deal. So these are men of no color who sit down at the table and say, okay, I'll share a little bit of my profits with you. Granted, you do these things for me and my company. And so some of this so-called billion-dollar net worth, a lot of it was the valuation was wrapped up in these deals, right? So, you sign a deal and you can estimate, oh, well, we think that this deal is going to yield $250,000 or $250 million over the course of this time frame. So Kanye being the narcissist that he is and his like obsession with being a billionaire, he'll just tack that on to tack that on to his net worth like it's liquid and like it's like a real asset. And it's not a real asset. It's a handshake, it's a handshake on paper, but nonetheless it's a handshake. It's not an asset that you truly control. And I will call that fragile wealth. It's very fragile because you don't really have any control over it. And the prediction, okay, we can just listen to the video. Y'all let me know if you can hear. Um, y'all let me know if you can hear the audio. Hopefully.
She's with Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush, who goes on to marry another woman of no color and funnels all his money to the woman of no color. His children don't even look black.
Let me try to see if I can find the area.
Chip with Beyonce. So Kanye said, well, maybe I should stop my shenanigans and I should settle.
Let me know if y'all can hear
And
the
all of
audio.
her friends' Birkin bags, the Birkin bags cost
Oh, I was going in on him. I really was. I was going in.
unpredictable. I mean, the Kardashians engage in their own brand of bullshit and fuckery, but the fuckery that engage in is usually curated fuckery. They put out press releases around fuckery that they know that they want to put out. They tell the paparazzi about certain fuckery that they want to make the news. But Kanye was too erratic for even them to control the fuckery, you see. Like, there's just no way to control it. So Evidence number one of him being a shitty dad is that in one of his narcissistic rants at some rally, he talks about wanting to terminate his child's the pregnancy.
Can y'all hear? I think I really make my prediction towards the end of this video because at the beginning of the video, I'm just talking about the mentality. I'm talking you know, um, about just his shenanigans, really. I just go in on it. I think I make my prediction towards the end. Let me see.
So, like, that's why she put it to where he cannot be alone with his children. Most volatile time. He probably is going to go on a binge
Okay. All
and
right.
he may self off himself.
Okay.
It's quite highly possible.
Well, that one hasn't come true yet, but we'll see. We will see. Hey, girl. I'm glad
Why is
you're
my
back.
little one still awake? I have no idea. I have no idea. I told my my friend the other day, I was like, oh no, the girls at the gym. I was like, I'm not the worst mom, but I'm not gonna win Mom of the Year. And I don't think that she'll ever be alone. I don't think she'll ever be alone with him. In her state, you could become a lawyer through apprenticeship. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Maybe I should have had this queued up.
And he's not a good dad. He's your regular average erratic ass baby daddy. Oh, the new girlfriend. I don't know what she was, or she was just like a little fling. Um, she basically does what I tell women to do. Like I I think that if you find I think you should get as much out of a situation as you can get. And that's basically what she did. I mean, I think that's smart. He's stupid, but you know, men pay for what they want. That's what he wanted to do at the time, so that's what he paid his money on. The thing about black men is that black men funnel resources outside the community. You know, black women funnel resources inside the community. They funnel resources outside the community. But that's what women should do. Women should not be hanging out with men for free. And you should be coming out of any interaction with a man. You should be coming out with some type of tangible, not just a bunch of wasted time. But yeah, she has her Birkin bag and whatever else she got along the way. You know what I mean? Like, you can criticize it. It's not, but then again, you know what, black women, y'all need to make sure that y'all are getting a bag as well. Okay. From whoever you're dealing with, you need to make sure that you're not leaving the situation empty handed. You need to be snatching and grabbing as many resources as you can from any situation that you're affiliated with or that you're dealing with. That's what she did. Why should we be left holding the bag? Why should black women be all about, oh, sacrifice and putting in the hard work and going through the ups and downs and building up a man? No, these women of no color, they don't build men. They get the men on the top and they get the resources. So he thought that was going to be able to make a, what do you call it? Was going to try to make a change with Kim, but he's so delusional. He doesn't realize it really is over. And when they got married, I gave them 5 years. I said, they're going to be divorced in like 5 years. I thought it was bullish. I was like, there's no way that marriage is gonna last. I give them 5 years tops. I remember saying that, and they outlasted my prediction. That it's been what 2014, what 8 years that they've been married? Is it eight? Oh, hold on, 6, 2, yeah, 8 years. So I said five, so they outlasted my prediction by 3 years. But I just knew it wasn't gonna last. Just knew that. Anywho, y'all, thanks for tuning in.
I wouldn't have mind where I was talking about Adidas specifically. I detailed
TikTok,
out.
since TikTok came out, he doesn't say anything about it until now. Why? Because the mama filed for divorce and she don't want to be bothered with him. He doesn't have any control over that household. So him being the narc that he is, he tries to use the child as a pawn. So he says, "Oh well, I don't want the child on TikTok." Oh, so and so won't let me come to the birthday party. Now, keep in mind, if a father knows if things are volatile, Kanye can have his own birthday party for his child. He doesn't have to go to Kim's birthday party. The child can have two birthday parties. This happens in the hood all the time. All the time. When things are too contentious, the baby mama and the baby daddy is fighting, and it's too contentious, the baby have two birthday parties. This is no different. This is just hood shit in Calabasas. That's all it is. Hood shit in Calabasas. That's it. That's it. That's all. So he could have had two. He could have had two birthday. He could have had another birthday party for the child. But what he's linking up with another trash bag bandit, Travis Scott, to get the address to that birthday party when clearly he's not invited to it because he's erratic and out of fucking control, and he cannot accept no for an answer. He's not humble at all. He's gonna force himself to a situation that he wasn't invited to, and his co-conspirator Travis Scott gives him the address, and he pops up to make everything awkward and weird and security and everything else because he cannot accept the fact that it's over. You can't just roll up over here anytime you want. Another thing, when he went into that house and took items out of the home and then went online and said that, oh, security said I'm stealing out of my own home. Kim, this, da da da. Listen, it's stupid though. When you're going through a divorce, you have something called division of assets. You have to submit to the court everything that you want from the dissolution of the marriage. It could be a book, a set of encyclopedias. It can be cars. It can be anything, stocks, bonds, properties, anything. You submit that to the court, and the court will decide who gets what. And the court will tell you when you file for divorce. You can't sell any assets. You can't hide any assets. Don't make a move because we need to evaluate everything. Don't make any sudden moves. So Kanye, in defiance of the court, goes to the house and starts to remove property from the home. Yes, it's considered theft, idiota. It's stupid though. Yes, it's considered theft, stupid. Because if you want something from that house, you need to submit it to the court that you want it and why it's yours and why you deserve it. You're under jurisdiction of men of no color via their court. That's stupid though. And so he's using all of this to make all this ruckus. Like, oh, I'm such a great father. She's doing this. She's doing that. It's like, no, your ego is out of control. Your ego is so grandiose. You think you're above the law. He literally thinks he's above the law. He thinks he's above the court. He thinks he's some type of freaking demigod that just operates at his own whim and everything else. And it's crazy that people are saying, oh, he's such a good dad because he cares about his kids. No, he doesn't. Please see through the shenanigans and all these theatrics. It's just to get his own way. He's such a freaking narc. Very grandiose. I don't see any redeeming qualities in him at all. Even his whole Jesus walks, him pretending to be this preacher, it's all fake. And the thing about his worship sermons, it's not about worshiping God, it's about worshiping him. If anybody never noticed. He's not a spiritual man at all. He's not, even the Jesus walk, he's in the same way. Well, we can talk about Jay-Z, that's another conversation, but even his H to the Izzo, Hove, it's about worshiping him. And Kanye, couldn't be outdone by Jay-Z because he has an unhealthy obsession with Jay-Z. He has to create a mechanism for people to worship him. All right, what y'all talking about in the comments? Let's see. Blasting their private, yep, makes them look selfish. Money makes you more who you are. Men are loyal to the desires of their private parts. Women need to be loyal to the bag. Oh, thank you for loving the channel, Queen Wisdom. Yes, they do. I find it weird that black men of the top 10% have no desire to reproduce themselves. Kanye is not a good father. Black women need to know that this is not our fight. It's not our fight. And I hope that I'm not coming off like I'm defending Kim because I'm not trying to defend Kim. Kim is who she is. She's just the big difference between the two of them. They are similar in character, but Kim is just smarter than him. She's just smarter and she's more strategic. That's the big difference between Kim and Kanye. Kim is following the blueprint of her mother. Her mother comes from a castaway background of people of no color. She's a mixed. I think she's like German, Irish, blah blah blah. So she did not have the phenotype to get a man of no color, a high class man of no color. So she ends up getting with an Armenian lawyer. And throughout that whole marriage, she was thoughting. She had an obsession with black men because she wanted to get that validation that black men offered her, and she was also scheming money from them as well. And that's how her daughters learn from the best. That's been Chris's MO from a long time ago, even when she was married. She knows that she's a castaway, throwaway woman of no color that high class men of no color don't want. So she knows if she wants to be praised and worshiped for her whiteness, black men are the easiest way to get that. And she can get bad at the same damn time. I believe that Chris had a whole football team worth of kids because she knew that she wanted to mold her children to increase her longevity and ability to make money. And Kim is no different. I think Kim followed her mother's blueprint, and that's why she has 4 children. I think if Kanye wasn't so crazy, she probably would have had more children. Because now my child is going to have to deal with Northwest, Saint West, Kardashian West, whatever. Like my child is going to have to deal with them in the tabloids and doing whatever shenanigans they're doing. So Kim is going to live on through her children. She'll be relevant through her children. All of them will, unfortunately. That's a blueprint that her mother set out for her. That's why she has a basketball team worth of children. And she's tried to put her children in a position to be somewhat a media whores and also just extend her relevance and longevity in the news, in society. But just think about it. Like, look who she's slumming with now. Look who she's slummed with in the past. She's in the news, but I don't think she has any respect among people of no color. You know what I mean? So anyway, the conclusion of this live is that Kanye is not a good father. And all of these antics are about his grandiose personality. It's about his ego. It's about his control factor. I predict that at the conclusion of this marriage, it's Kanye is at a high risk of offing himself. Especially like if Beyonce drops an album and Jay-Z is by her side. If Beyonce and Jay-Z decide to have more children via surrogacy, Kanye West will implode and probably off himself. He has an unhealthy obsession with Jay-Z. He feels an extreme sense of competitiveness with him, which is why he became so obsessed with getting on making $1 billion because, Jay-Z was considered a billionaire before him. He was so upset that I think I don't think they invited him to the wedding. Beyonce didn't invite them to the wedding because he didn't want she don't fuck with Kim. And you can't blame her. She know Beyonce know what Kim is made of, and she just don't fuck with her like that. And he's always felt a sense of rejection, but nobody told him to go and pick a porn star. He chose to do that. So this is the thing, like you want to do these things, but you don't want to live with the consequences of your choices. When you could have chose Miss Black America, Miss Black USA, you could have chose, whoever preacher's daughter's wife or whatever sorority girl, black woman, the prettiest one ever. You could choose the most beautiful, pious black woman on the face of this planet. And you didn't want that. You wanted the porn star. So since you wanted the porn star, you have to understand that you socially alienate yourself from certain spaces. And Beyonce don't fuck with her, and you can't make her. And do you think that that Jay-Z is going to defy his wife? No. No. It's not going to happen. So he excluded his own self from that. And then his erratic behavior. It's like if you didn't see how Jay-Z distanced himself from Dame Dash, you need to understand he will distance himself from a crazy ass narcissist that doesn't have anything like to offer. Like once you start having diminishing returns, when your contribution to the business and to humanity do not justify your antics, when your antics are more costly than the benefit that you are producing with your product, then yes, you make yourself obsolete. You isolate yourself and alienate yourself from different opportunities. Yeah, absolutely. Kim is way smarter. She's dumb, but she's more strategic than him. Like if you listen to her talk, she sounds like she talks with like a 6th grade education level. Her just everything she says is so juvenile. Like the way she formulates her thoughts is very juvenile. Sounds like she has a 6th grade education. But even with that said, she's still smarter than Kanye West. And I think that as a woman who, you know, keep in mind Kim Kardashian was the help. She was Brandy Norwood's personal assistant. That's how she met Ray J. Kim Kardashian was Brandy Norwood's personal assistant, and she actually ended up um, scamming Brandy Norwood's mother, Sonia. She misused the company credit card. This was, I think, settled or thrown out years later, but Kim Kardashian was the help. And I think the Paris Hilton thing came out before Kim Kardashian, so she thought, hey, let me try my hand at this as well. And she knew that black men would worship her. And she's like, if you put her in the men of no color community, and she is a throwback, she's a throwaway. She's a low bottom, low tier. Only people that will worship her like that are white men, or pardon me, black men. Clean her up, dust her off, like even like what is his name? Uh Tyga with Kylie. Oh, I'm gonna give you the swag. I'm gonna give you that black woman swag so you can be relevant. That's how they see these throwaway white women as projects. They see them as projects. Yeah, they see them as projects. So, yeah, Kim was a total throwaway. Like, who else is gonna worship you besides black men? That's the only people that's gonna worship you and put you on a pedestal temporarily. Now, all these grandiose gestures that Kanye's doing, I think that they used to work in the past, but Kim, I mean, she's a strategic person. If she's already putting out in the media this and that and filing paperwork on you and curating her image and really being very calculated about what information she puts out. It's like the more calculated she is, the more erratic he is. He's not thinking about his legacy, as most of them don't. He's not thinking about his legacy. He's not thinking about any of that. He's just thinking about the immediate gratification of doing what he wants to do in the moment. That's all he's thinking about. He's not even thinking about how his actions affect his children. I think he's really disconnected from reality. And I really do think that once this divorce is final, he's at a high risk of self-offing himself. His ego is extremely fragile. He can't be with his children without security, per the courts. I don't know. She got a law degree. I don't know about that. If she got a law degree, I think that exist in this world. But he chooses Amber Rose, a stripper, a multiracial, she's not even biracial. She's a multiracial stripper and sex worker.
Sorry, I'm trying to
She's with Reggie
process
Bush,
this.
and while he is with Amber Rose, and then finally they decide, okay, well, let's go public with this relationship. The executives at Adidas are not plotting a way to dissociate themselves from Kanye West. I can tell you, if I'm a betting woman, I'll tell you, the executives and the top investors at Adidas are formulating a way to disassociate themselves from Kanye West right now because he is such a liability to their brand with his antics and charades. He's uncontrollable. He's so erratic and a liability that I'm sure that at some point in time, anybody will put up with anything for the right price. But at some point in time, Kim sits down to make a SWOT analysis, and she sees the pros and the cons of being in a relationship with Kanye West. Does it make sense financially and everything else? And I can tell you the executives and the board of directors and the top investors at Adidas are doing the same thing. Is it really worth it? Are these Yeezy shoes going to sell enough to make sense for us to continue on with this partnership with him? He's got his royalties, but if he's going to continue to be erratic and stupid and literally buy his side chick, whoever she was, throwback Becky and all of her friends Birkin bags, the Birkin bags cost what, $30,000? How many bags he bought? Like what, 10 plus bags? So you do the math, 10 times 30,000. That's not including everything else. And another thing was that he has these big entourages, and that was one of Kim's biggest complaints. Kim may be a lot of things, but a businesswoman is one that she is. She couldn't justify why does he have so many people on the payroll, and that's money going out of the household. Kanye is like any random nigga on the corner. They just spend up money that don't, oh, the money is always coming. They're not prudent with their money. And because of his grandiose personality and stupidity, he has to have an entourage bigger than what he needs. All these people are on the payroll. So if that Yeezy's contract goes away and he's reliant on what royalties, nobody's really buying any new music. So you're really going to be depending on your old classics and maybe if something gets licensed or used in a commercial or a TV show or a movie or something like that, the old stuff and your writing credits, stuff like that. And you can live a good life on royalties, but you cannot live the nigga lifestyle on royalties when you're buying your woman of no color that you're sleeping with and all her friends a Birkin bag and flying here private jet and flying there private jet and doing this and doing that and having an entourage bigger than what you need. You will be broke soon. Plus you're going to have child support and possibly alimony that you have to pay. So I really believe that the writing was on the wall for Kim, and she knew that it was over. Like Kanye is as much as he's ever gonna be, and I should get out now. I got everything I need to move on with my life, and this is just too much. I do believe that for the right price, I do think that Kim would be willing to put up with a certain amount of bullshit if the price is right. Women like her think like that. Hell, I think like that too. I'm willing to put up with a certain amount of bullshit for the right price, for the right amount of money. Everybody has their threshold for bullshit, and I just think that he went past the threshold that she was willing to tolerate for the bullshit. And it was just at that point, it just became too much. It's just too unpredictable. I mean, the Kardashians engage in their own brand of bullshit and fuckery, but
Okay, so I already played that. So yeah, that was my prediction about the Adidas deal. It is out now that that Adidas has distanced themselves from him. Who else was it? Balenciaga, Gap is distancing themselves from him. There's deals being cut left and right. Okay, y'all, here's my next prediction. Here's my next prediction. I predict that Kanye is going to go on a cyber slurping tour. Okay, he's gonna slurp the Jews. Oh God, I hope I don't get banned. The Jays. He's gonna go around and he's gonna like probably sit down with a rabbi and say, he's uneducated. He's gonna basically do exactly what Nick Cannon did. He's he's gonna take a page out of Nick Cannon's book and he's gonna sit down with a rabbi and pull out the Torah and go to some classes and maybe he'll even go to Israel itself and walk through the streets and go see the ruins and have this redemptive thing, like he's being baptized and he's so sorry and apologetic. People who are saying that he doesn't care and that he's uncontrollable and that, he's a rogue, a loose cannon and things like that. Listen, he, people say he's unapologetic. You're going to see the opposite of apologetic. You're going to see an apologetic Kanye. Okay? Especially when that mortgage is due. Okay? Especially when that mortgage is due. I think he's paying a mortgage on Kim House too. The mortgages come due and all that child support, he's going to become very apologetic. He's going to go around just like he went on a rampage, media blitz, really not promoting anything actually, just promoting stupidity. Like you don't even what is the product? What is the product that you are promoting right now? He's just promoting stupidity. So just like he went on that hobo tour, promoting stupidity and just showing the world how stupid he is, he's gonna go on that same tour. He's probably gonna backtrack and backpedal and pop the exact same media outlets that he spewed his rhetoric, and he's going to be so apologetic. And I think he's just going to go all out, and it's going to be like a cyber slurp like you've never seen before. Okay, this is going to be epic, monumental, slurp. Okay. um that's my next prediction. um I still think that it's possible that this might just, you know it might just take him out too. It could go either or both ways. It could go either or both ways. If it's probably going to go both ways, probably after his cyber slurping tour, if he doesn't get the response that he wants, if he's not able to regain, I mean, because these companies can't take him back, right? Like it is what it is at this point. Like, I mean, there's just like there's no way these deals can be redeemed. They're over. They are over. They're over. So, what are you going to try to find new companies? Like, which companies are as big as them? Like, which companies, what athletic company that pushes out shoes like what, Nike? Nike already has their celebrity endorsements. Like, they don't even get into that kind of entertainment. They mostly deal with athletes. So Nike is not a good fit. So what you going to do? Adidas is like what you going to do? Like it's done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's finished. It's done. So I mean it's like that level of humbling, if you're a person with humility and you're a person who takes accountability for what you do and you're a person who's interested in self-growth, self-reflection, becoming a better person, you might eat your humble pie and learn and grow from it and redirect and pivot your life and really try to level up from wherever you are. I don't Kanye doesn't have those qualities in him. He doesn't have those qualities of self-reflection and accountability. He doesn't have any insight. No insight at all. He's either the victim, the villain, or the god. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you a victim and a god at the same time, sir? You know how? Blackmail blackmail mentality. Who else is a victim and a god at the same time? Black men. And that's every time he gets on there and he wants to like be the victim. Everybody's oh, this family is abused. This family's abusing me. Oh, like you didn't choose it. Where's the accountability? Where are those people who say that they come out from like a rock or something, or they like come out from behind a bush, when you're talking about something and they're like, you should be accountable. Y'all are not accountable for what you do. You choose wrong, choose better. And it's like, okay, this is the family that you chose to be with and went through great lengths, you know what I'm saying, to integrate yourself into that family. So how are you going to be crying and whining now about now you're being abused. Like, just stop the madness. Just stop it. The black male worshipers are still in his corner. I mean, it's like it's crazy because I don't know how many different ways somebody could tell you that they don't even like you. They don't like you, they don't want you, they don't like your phenotype. They are very anti-black, they're very extremely anti-black woman, and these black male worshipers are still riding for this dude. I mean, they are riding hard. They're still riding for him. And it's like, girl, please stop. You looking you out here making yourself look crazy. Let him go down on his ship by himself. Let him go down on his ship by himself. I don't feel sorry for him, not one iota, not 1 ounce. I have no sympathy for him. I have absolutely no sympathy for him. None. He isn't deserving of my sympathy. He isn't deserving of anything positive from me or any black woman, really. He's been a detriment and a horrible example and just, yeah, you put out some music every now and then, but, you know, you're just of no real benefit to humanity. And the crazy thing about his like rants, it makes me wonder about like people's intellect, because it's like if you really listen to what he's saying, um, he's just stringing together this almost, manic uh diatribe, and because it's so confusing, like people think it's genius. It's similar to I would say it's similar to what's the guy's name? Jordan Peterson. Similar to him. Jordan Peterson will just spew out a bunch of nonsensical babble talk, and he'll throw in a few, really, profound words, or like, 4 or 5 syllable words. And it's almost like if people are slightly confused by what you say, they attribute genius to you. And no, no, not genius. He's not genius. You know what? I could probably do a whole video of my prediction of Jordan Peterson too, because he said something. I don't know if he said something about the Jays, or if he said something about uh women. Oh, I know why everybody's mad at him. He said something about the LGBT. See, everybody was riding with Jordan Peterson when he was spewing his rhetoric against women, kind of like dog whistling MGTOW, kind of like giving a pseudo intellectual justification for DV, and abuse and subjugation of women. Everybody was fine with him. Everybody was singing his praises. But as soon as he goes in on the LGBT, oh, now let's cancel Jordan Peterson. Oh, we need to hold him accountable. Oh, no, no, no. It's like the LGBT and the Jays are two minority groups that are very effective at economic sanctioning people. I'm not going to say canceling, I will say economic sanction, because these are the two groups that are very intertwined for reasons that we won't go into today, but they control the media, and they control finance, they control the central banks, they control a lot. So they absolutely have the power to economically sanction people. And so now all of a sudden, it's like y'all haven't been listening to Jordan Peterson over the past, I don't know, 5 years, 5 years or whatever it is. You haven't heard how problematic his rhetoric is, but now all of a sudden you guys are up in arms. And this is the thing. This is why I sit on the sidelines. Like, okay, I'm not going to be your ally. I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and worry about my own stuff, because when he was going in on women, where were y'all? Where were you when he was going in on heterosexual women? Where were y'all? Where were the picket signs? Where were the let's cancel him? Where was the don't invite him on my media station? Where's the let's hold him accountable? No, every time we have to go something, we do it by we're on our own, especially black women. We're on our own. We have to fight and advocate for ourselves. So yes, I will advocate for black women and girls. I'll stand up for them. I'll join whatever they got going on, whatever we got going on. But as far as these other groups, like, no, y'all got it. Y'all can do it on y'all's own. I don't owe you allyship. I don't owe you shit. Really. If we really gonna just get into it, like, I don't owe you a motherfucking thing. Sorry for dropping the S bomb and the F bomb, but it's just like they be having all the audacity in the world to have this entitlement and this like just like expectation that like black women are just supposed to ride for like whatever cause they have going on at the time. We're just supposed to drop we're just supposed to drop our own self-interest. We're supposed to drop our own movements, our own issues, the things that matter to us. We're just supposed to drop it at a drop of a dime and then go ride for them and go march for them and go pick like no, I think that those days are coming to a fast end as more and more black women are becoming more self-interested in themselves, first and foremost, primarily, and as a collective of black women and girls. That is our main concern. And I say this like, listen, we can play the oppression Olympics all you want. I'm going to win every time as a black woman. If you want to get into the ring, let's do it. I'm going to win every time. And honestly, my hands are full. My hands are full. My hands are full. We have, you know, black women leaving this earth every 4.5 hours. We have a lot going on. I think our hands are full with our own issues, with our own situation, and with being a resource to Black women who are interested in, um, you know, plugging into a more nourishing way of life, a more self preserving way of life. That is a full time job, okay? It's like that's 18 full time jobs. Seriously. So, no, I don't have time to be your ally right now. Like, no, just not even out of I'm not saying you're not deserving of like whatever your thing is. I'm not saying you don't deserve it. I'm not saying that your cause is not just. I'm not saying that you don't deserve whatever it is that you're asking for. You probably do, whatever. I'm saying that my energy is tied up in my own community, Black women and girls. That's what I'm saying. I think our hands are full. Seriously. And it's like you even have to get to a point where you can even do anything for the collective. First, you have to stabilize yourself. You have to stabilize yourself before you have anything to give to anybody else. And so many people, many Black women are just in that stage of stabilizing themselves, getting it out of the danger zone, getting into a safe environment, getting around positive people, getting into career paths that are going to be lucrative, getting furthering their education, securing their own assets, securing their own legacy. So our hands are full. We got a lot going on. And, it's like in the race, we're starting from way behind the starting line, to get in the race. That's just the reality of like where we are, where we've been. And we're, we're just trying to get to the starting line to really get in the race. Oh, yes. But yeah, I wanted to just do a little flashback down memory lane to show this video because a lot of the predictions I make, I don't actually record them, but I just happen to record the situation and it's just so funny that it played out exactly how I said it would. The delusion of Kanye West. I mean, he is really a grandiose, really grandiose on so many levels. Like textbook narc. Textbook. And I think I was looking at some clips the other day, because I didn't watch the Ye, documentary, whatever Yeezus or Ye or whatever it was. I didn't watch that documentary, but I feel like a few, I feel like I saw a few clips or whatever, and I saw that he was traveling, like, his mom took him traveling, like, around the world. And I was just like, "Oh my god, this woman invested so much into this self-hating, self-destructive, self-annihilating entity." Her love couldn't save him, her taking him around the world, teaching him different languages, pouring everything that she pouring all of her essence into him, you know, was a fruitless it didn't bear any her investment in him didn't really bear any fruit. Not for women in her image, you know what I mean? Women in her image did not benefit at all from her investment into him. And it just makes me think like, um, if all that she did wasn't enough, how is it that women who are doing even less, how are they gonna fare? What are they gonna produce? What are they gonna unleash upon us? It just made me think like this guy had um, so many opportunities, so much enrichment and just could have done so many different things. And it's like, now you made your bed, you lie in it. We don't care. Lord knows I don't. Lord knows I don't. My auntie is texting me. She wanted to get a few little things for my daughter. So I really appreciate that. I'm gonna call her later. She's such a night owl. Like, what is she doing up? Like, my auntie is up, y'all. My auntie is up texting me. She is such a night owl. But yeah, let me look at the comments. Hey Mocha Mommy. Hey Selfish Love. Hey Jolie. Hey Celine. Uh Distant Star. Hey girl. Hey girl. Hey, it's so good to see all you lovely ladies. I be thinking about y'all a lot. What have I been doing? What have I been doing? As my daughter gets older, the extracurriculars are definitely getting more intense. I pretty much have something every day, of the week. Like tomorrow we have a game. Um, and after the okay, no, no, no. The next day we have a game. Tomorrow we have practice and um like this evening camp thing that she goes to. And then the next day we have music class and a game. And then Friday I promised her a movie night with just me and her because I've been working a lot too. And I've been going out as well. And so I yeah, like I'll take her like if I have to work overnight or whatever. And she's just like, "Oh, you have to work again. Oh, I don't want you to go." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll promise you a movie night. Just we're gonna hang out, we're gonna pop popcorn, and it's just gonna be me and you. We're gonna hang out, we're gonna have a movie night." So I feel like mom guilt is real, y'all. Mom guilt is real. Mom guilt. You just want to do all the things and you want to be all the places and you also want to have a personal life of your own and it's just hard. I think it's well for me. It's hard to balance it all. It's hard to balance it. And I think also part of it is like I'm like I want to do these things like I have some ideas in my mind about just some stuff I wanted to do with the channel and I just haven't really had the time or organize my mind and my thoughts enough to like roll it out the way I'm envisioning it in my head. And so I think that's a little bit of perfectionism And I'm like, well, I would love to offer you ladies more, offer you ladies a more upgraded experience on the channel. I would love to do all of those things. Um, and maybe that's the perfectionism will also cause procrastination. If any of you ladies if any of you ladies suffer from perfectionism, you can understand where I'm coming from. Perfectionism causes procrastination, right? And so I think there was a little bit of that going on as well. A little bit of that going on. With like, okay, well, I'll wait until I do all these things and then I'll roll it out on the channel. Okay, well, once I get these things in place, then I'll roll it out on the channel. It's like that day was never coming. The day did not yet come. So I was like, anyway, let me just hop on there and replay my video that I recorded 8 months ago, predicting what is happening right now. Strike the iron while it's hot, because this is what's happening right now in real time. It's happening in real time. I mean, it's just like, come on. I mean, everybody just knows. You can feel however way you want to feel, but you need to keep that stuff to yourself. That group is not anybody to mess with, period. You know, they're just not. And especially when you don't control your own assets. And none of them do. I can't think of one that does. I cannot think of one black male that actually really, really honestly controls their own wealth. I can't think of any. E- Most of everything that they have is always intertwined with some dominant society, like the dominant culture's businesses or endeavors. It's always a partnership, right? It's always like even these liquor deals, always a partnership with a French company or, you know, whatever company, a German company, a Russian company. It's always a partnership. These streaming services is always a partnership with another da 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 in the dominant culture, their technological hub, like it's their company really, and you have a deal with them. Of course, all the music, they're all intertwined with that. They're the ones who control distribution. Excuse me. I can't think of any like okay, Michael Jordan, okay, he's totally dependent on Nike, totally. Like I just can't think of any of them that are really independent. None. Maybe Bob Johnson was for a little while, but he sold it to Viacom. Maybe he was a little bit independent. That's the only one I could kind of think of. But yeah, most of them are not independent. Like they cannot stand on their own 2 feet and just say and do whatever and just take the consequences because the consequences are always too detrimental because they have what I call fragile wealth. It's very fragile, easily breakable, easily, wiped out. And I have to ask myself, how much of look when they evaluate themselves of 900 million, this person is worth da 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 millions. He's a billionaire. I have to really speculate like how are you really evaluating? Like what's really liquid and like what assets do you really have that you really own? Cuz I really think what they're doing is I think that they're adding the whole total sum of the deal over how long ever long it's supposed to last. I think they add that to this valuation of their net worth. And it's kind of like juking the numbers, you know? It's kind of like funny accounting. It's not like real accounting. It's I would call it vanity accounting, right? Vanity accounting. Because, if you're a true billionaire and you lost a few deals, you shouldn't be so devastated. This is a devastating blow. This is a devastating blow because you don't you don't own anything, bro. Like you don't own anything. You don't have control over any industry. Like like most men can point to an industry that they dominate. You know, they can point to a particular industry that they dominate. The Jays dominate finance, media, and law, which are, of course, you need all those. A lot of the Irish are in law enforcement, in public service. Your county people, your municipal people, they make a lot of decisions, you know, on a local level. Like they make a lot of decisions that you deal with every day. The Italians, a lot of them are in firefighting and EMS and first responders. And then their cousins across the pond produce a lot of things. And when you see made in Italy, people think quality. They think, I'm going to pay more money for this because it's made in Italy. But you can say made in Ghana, nobody feels any type of way about it because they have not went out into the world and demanded respect the way the French have done and the Italians have done and all these different people who produce goods and dominate certain industries. The French dominate wine. They've even gone so far as to sue people who call something champagne that's not champagne because champagne has to come from Champagne, France. That's how you know, fierce these men are about protecting their industry. But anybody like, okay, even if you want to say hip hop, anybody can roll up in hip hop and dominate. Like it doesn't matter. There's no gatekeeping, you know, anybody can just roll up in there and get a bag and be on about their way. you know, and they'll be so happy to see it. Like they love to be imitated. They'll pay more for the imitation than the real thing. So, anyway, he don't own nothing. It's like you're not dominating in any way, and now it's like this huge devastating blow. Oh, Lord, y'all. Anyway, before I sign off, I want to thank the new subscribers again, because I have quite a few new subscribers on the channel, and it makes me think that y'all are really digging my archive of content. Because I haven't been producing anything new in the past several months, but I'm still getting subscribers. So thank you and welcome. And for those who've been rocking with me for a while, thank you for remaining subscribed to the channel and interacting and showing love and all of that jazz and sharing solutions and sharing positive stories and just, a virtual sisterhood of sorts. Thanks for that. Y'all have a blessed day or night whenever you listen to this. For those who might catch the replay, I'm sorry I didn't have the video queued up. Maybe I'll link that video also in this video so you don't have to worry about me kind of like going through it and starting and stopping in double time and all the shenanigans I was doing earlier. And you can just go and check out the video for yourself. So I'll go ahead and do that now. I'll link that video into this video for those who are interested in checking out my original Kanye video over 8 months ago. All right, peace and love. Y'all take care. Bye.